Hi everyone, Tasha here, and this is my stop on the Cat Scrappiness YouTube hop featuring the new Crafty Quokka's release. Today I'm going to share with you a tutorial on how to make this fun little Crafty Quokka card, and I'm going to show you first my inspiration card. I love how this came together. So this card has all three of these little Crafty Quokkas and a layered greeting. Now, for the project that we're creating, I'm going to use the new Crafty Quokkas stamp set, all three of the Quokkas, and several of the little art accessory items or the tools with markers, just to add some more to the card. And then this set doesn't have any sentiments or greetings, so I am going to use a layered die set, and this one is called Sending You Crafty Hugs. For the paper in the background, I'm using a piece of paper from the Crafty Quokka's paper pad. These papers are so pretty. They're all double-sided and they have different images and different patterns. You can just mix and match. I'm going to be using one of the double-sided papers that is different from the sample card. This way I have two different designs. And then for some sparkle, I'm using a piece of paper from the purple glitter paper pad. And on my sample card, I used blue from the new blue paper, the new blue glitter paper pad, but the purple is for this card that we're making together. To start the project, I'm going to start with my stamping. Now, I'm not using the coordinating dies, but there are coordinating dies for this set, but I'm just going to be stamping directly onto my paper. I'm starting with the center quokka. I decided to use a little stamping quokka in the center. He is just so cute. I think this one might be my favorite one from this set, but they're all really cute. So I'm putting him right in the center. And then I'm going to use a piece of full adhesive posted paper. And I'm going to put that right where I just did my stamping. And then I'm going to stamp him one more time. This is going to create a mask so that I can make sure that I don't get any of the other quokkas or any of the background ink onto my little center quokka guy. So you can kind of see that outline. It's light, but it's dark enough for me to cut. Now that I did my stamping for the center quokka, I'm going to start adding the other ones. I wanted to line up the table line so that it looks like they're all sitting at one table. So I just kind of placed it where I thought those lines would meet, and I'm stamping the second little quokka. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to stamp him twice to make sure it's nice and dark, and then I'm going to create a mask with another piece of post-it paper. I love post-it paper. It's really inexpensive and it's perfect for stamping. Now to create the area or stamp the last quokka, I moved my paper over so this way I had enough room to do the stamping in case she kind of was off to the side too much. So I'm going to stamp her and line up the table the same way I did that second one. And then again, I'm stamping her twice just to make sure she's nice and dark, pressing down on the eye area. And then I also created a mask. And do you see how in my sample card I had extra little accessories to kind of look like a craft table? I'm going to do the same thing on this project. So I'm just kind of playing with placement. I decided to go with the little markers, but I did want to have the scissors. So I'm just kind of putting it in different areas to see what works. And then I thought for this one, I'm going to use the little washi tape or the little craft tape on this card since I used different accessories on the last one. So I'm just going to stamp those on the bottom. This will make the table. And then I did go in, stamp each of those twice, and then added a little bit of a marker on the edge to kind of look like that table went on farther. So I'm just going to stamp another markers on the very edge of the table. Then after I was done with all of that, I'm going to start putting on my masking paper. So this is how it looks all stamped up, and we're going to color that. I'll color that all in. So my masking paper, I did reuse the two that I had for my sample card since I already had those images cut out. And then I put a piece of post-it tape on the bottom, and I'm just going to use my magnets to kind of hold the stencil all in place. This is how I'm going to create that brick background. So I'm just using a basic brick stencil, and then I'm using some of these blending brushes from Cat Scrappiness and some purple ink. Again, any color would work for this, but for my first card, I used a blue background and then the blue paper, the glitter paper. And so I thought to do something different for this card, I'm using a purple background to go with the new purple glitter paper. And I just love purple, so this works out great for me. And these little blending brushes from Cat Scrappiness are awesome if you haven't tried them, because they're small enough to get in those little areas. They just work perfectly and they blend really well. So I'm pulling off the masking now, which is my favorite part, and I'm using my Cat Scrappiness tweezers to just help me out to make sure that it pulls up easily. Here's just a close-up of how it looks before it's colored. And then here's a close-up of all the little quokkas colored up. So I didn't spend any time on the video coloring these because it took me a while, and this is a hop, so I don't need you to just sit around watching me color, but if you ever wanted me to show a coloring video, let me know. After I was done coloring up my little scene, I decided to go in and do my die cutting. I'll be using a piece of black cardstock and white cardstock for this. I do find that a heavier weight cardstock works great for letters, and I do run it through my die cutting machine twice. To help me pop these letters out, I'm using this little pick tool. One side has a little bit of a waxy end so you can pick up your gems and sequins, and the other side has a poker end that makes poking and popping out these little letter pieces really easy. So once I was done, I'm using my tweezers again, and I'm going to just add liquid adhesive to the back of these letters and attach it to that shadow. This would also work really well if you had sticker or adhesive paper. You can run that through for the letters, and then you wouldn't have to use adhesive, but it's really easy to just add the glue and then use the tweezers to help guide you in placement. So I'm holding the tweezers up, pressing down from one end, and then ending at where I had my tweezers holding that letter S, and then I'm just pressing everything in place. And here is just a close-up of how it looks all put together. I love how the black looks with the white letters. And then the last thing we need to do is just assemble our card. So I'm going to use some glue runner for this, but again, you can use any type of adhesive. You could use some score tape or glue runner, liquid adhesive for this. Since it's just paper to paper and there's no textures, any type of adhesive works. So I'm just starting with that center layer, and I'm going to layer the quokkas onto a black cardstock. I'm going to have a black layer on the back as well, and then I'm going to put that aside. Now I'm going to add adhesive to the pattern paper, and I'm going to attach it to that purple glitter paper. Now, Cat Scrappiness glitter paper is not a textured or loose glitter. It's a pattern of a glitter paper. So it's just paper to paper, but it gives that sparkle look. I just love it so much because there is no loose glitter. There's no texture. It's really easy to work with any type of adhesive, and it's so pretty. And then lastly, I attached it to another piece of black cardstock. Now to add a little dimension to my card and have it pop up a little bit, I'm using some foam tape on that center card panel. I'm just cutting the foam tape so I don't have to use too much, and just kind of putting it all over the place so that it has even placement. And I'm just going to peel it off and put it right into the center. And I think that brightly colored scissor pattern paper is just, it's so cool looking. This would also be great for like a teacher card or a back to school card or even little gift tags. I like that pattern. And then I decided to do some foam tape on the sentiment as well, just to raise it up a bit. I did the same thing on my sample card, and I just loved how it looked having it up a little bit higher as well. So I'm just going to do the same thing. I cut my foam tape in half just to make sure it covered everything, and then just had a little piece on each of the corners. So I'm going to pull that up and put that directly above my three little quokkas. And I'm just pressing down, and this is how it looks. And then you can attach it to any type of card base. And here are my two examples. So I just think these are so fun. I hope you guys enjoyed a peek at the Crafty Quokka stamp set and are enjoying the hop. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.